This yoga flow is all about the full moon. So at the time of release, it will be just in the lead up, in the week of our next full moon. And at any time in the year when the full moon happens, it's a really nice time to remember what the moon does when it is full. It lights up a lot more than what we normally see. So if we bring that into ourselves, we can use it as that opportunity to light up the areas in our body that maybe we don't normally pay attention to, or the areas within us, within our minds, within our emotional field that we kind of keep in the shadows. So while we explore this physical lunar flow, just feeling into what areas within you are needing to be shown the light, or that we're shining a light on and into. So just let yourself settle in, finding your breath. You want to be sitting on a block on its middle height, placing that right underneath the hips, giving you a bit of height here, having it widthways as well across the mat. Find your breath here. Let yourself settle into the support beneath you, the connection between you and the mat and the earth. It helps us to get through the full moon time. We feel grounded and supported. So just breathing that deep belly breath here. Then bring your left hand down to the mat beside you. Inhale, sweep your right arm up into a seated moon. And hold here as you keep both sides of the pelvis heavy, breathing in through the side of the body. And then accentuating and feeling into the movement of the shoulder blade. As you breathe in, draw the right shoulder blade towards the spine, open the chest up towards the sky. Exhale, take it away from the spine and stretch your arm as if you're stretching over a big beach ball, or a full moon, if you will. So moving with the breath, inhale, twisting open. Exhale, curling down and over. Keeping this slow and steady. There's no need to rush here. So while that right shoulder blade is moving, that left bottom shoulder blade might be engaging and opening in the opposite way, but in a more subtle way than the top one at this stage. Using the breath, exhale over again. And then inhale up through to the center line, exhale down to your heart. Grounding your right hand down, plugging the fingers into the mat, sweep your left arm up. And again, feeling into that side bend, the seated moon on this side. And breathe in. Now it's the left shoulder blade squeezing in towards the spine. Exhale, stretching away, creating space. Moving with the breath. So we're again creating space and bringing awareness into the back part of the body here that we sometimes don't get to pay attention to unless it's hurting. Because it's right behind us. It's right behind the heart, behind the head. So we can't physically see it. So just moving with your breath once more, just like that. And on your next inhale, come up through the center line, connect to the hands, and come into reverse namaste with the hands behind your head, pressing the elbows back. Inhale, lift through the chest. Exhale, curling in, draw the elbows down towards the ground. Twice more like that. Inhale, lifting. Exhale, lengthening through the spine as you curl. Just this opening across the front of the chest and shoulders, and that curling in. Breathe in, reach tall. Exhale down. You can lift your hips up off the block. Move the block to the top right hand side of the mat. You'll use that later. And just press yourself back into child's pose. So tucking the toes, extending the arms in an extended active child's pose. Feeling grounded through the hands about shoulder width apart. Find your breath for a couple of breaths here, belly soft. And then when you're ready, press up off your knees, finding downward facing dog. Just pedal through the heels, bending one knee at a time, opening up through the back of the body there. That back line, rocking the hips side to side. Then find center. Soften the knees and elbows so that you can press the hands and feet into the mat. As you breathe in, floating your right leg into three-legged dog. And then as you exhale, bend the knee, step the foot through to the front of the mat, lower the back knee in your crescent lunge here. Breathe in, sweep the arms forward and up. Exhale down the center, find your hands at the heart. Just for a couple of breaths, inhale, ease out of the lunge a little. Exhale, deepen. So it's just a subtle little movement so we're not jamming into the hips. Bring your hands to frame that front foot. Cross the back foot across the width of the mat. Take your left hand to the back of the mat. Extend the front leg, finding your gate pose here. So feel grounded and supported through that bottom hand, lengthening from the front toes to the top fingertips. And find that inhale and exhale twisting through the rib cage again in this position. Breathing in, opening up the chest towards the sky. Exhale, curling over that imaginary beach ball or mini full moon. Doing that twice more with your breath. And then bring your hands to the mat, crawling your way back to the front. Shift your back foot. You're in a low lunge again. Hands are on the mat. Lower the back heel down, cut the back foot to an angle, and windmill your arms up into your moon warrior, your dancing warrior here. So keep lunging in that front knee, knee tracking over the middle three toes. Breathing in, opening up through the side front of the body. And exhale, fancy feet a little as we use our hands to support ourselves, finding Skandasana at the back of the mat. So take your time here as you inhale, shift your feet back to your warrior two and your moon warrior footing. Exhale, support yourself as you can shift your feet, finding Skandasana. Toes can be lifted or grounded here. Once more like that. Moving with the breath, imagining that what you're taking from the light, you're bringing in into the dark, underneath the shadows. Open up into your moon warrior once more. Lift your back heel, frame your front foot, and step back to plank. Low or high. Take a breath in as you hold. Exhale, lower down to your belly. And here we're finding locust pose. So engaging the back of the body, pointing the toes, bringing the arms down alongside you. The palms facing down, thumbs outwards. So you can really open up across the front of the shoulders. Lifting the feet and chest, engaging the back body, strengthening it with that awareness of what's behind us, what's kept in the shadows. Exhale, release into Earth Shavasana. Let the heels relax, arms come down by the sides. Turn your head to one way. Breathe the belly into the mat beneath you. And preparing for Locust Shalabhasana. Again, breathe in, engaging the back of the body, lifting up. Your head is just looking in the direction your heart is facing, so you're not jamming back into the neck or tucking the chin. Finding your breath, these deep breaths. Exhale, Earth Shavasana. Head turns the opposite direction. Soften the whole back of the body. After another breath there, bring your hands underneath your shoulders, tuck your toes, find your way. It can be via your knees up into downward facing dog. Find your grounding here. Press into the hands and feet. And when you're ready, breathe in, float the left leg, three-legged dog. Exhale, bend the knees, step the foot through, lower the back knee, Anjaneyasana. Inhale, reaching up, exhale, find your lunge. Make sure that front shin is vertical rather than the knee being further forward than the ankle. And again, find those couple of breaths where you ease out of the lunge and then find your depth back in it. Hands down to the mat, cross that back foot across the width of the mat. This time right hand comes to the back, front leg extends, finding your gate pose on this side, that diagonal line from the front toes to the top fingertips. And inhale, draw the top shoulder blade towards the spine, twist the heart open towards the sky. Exhale, curling over. Moving through this long spine to help you twist safely through the rib cage part. Moving with that breath as you do so, bringing that awareness to the back door of the heart that sometimes can be left in the shadows in some way or another for each of us. Bring your hands back to the mat and crawl yourself back to that low lunge. Lift the back knee, lower the back heel, cut the back foot to an angle, press into that front foot, windmill up into your moon warrior. Back hand supporting itself on the back leg. Finding your breath here. Inhaling in, exhale, just like we're taking light from the sun and bringing it underneath into the shadows, down into your Skandasana at the back of the mat. Finding your depth that works for you. Inhale, opening up. So if your knees or hips are limiting you here, just support yourself as much as you need. There's no need to go too deep. But moving with that awareness. You can even use hands free if you're feeling a bit like a ninja. Inhale, open up again. Exhale, lift the back heel, frame the front foot, step back to your plank. Take a breath in and breathe out, lower down to your belly. So extend your right arm out here. And you can have it extended or the elbow bent with the forearm supported. Bend your left leg and use your left hand to catch the left foot. We're coming into a half bow pose here. So as you breathe in, engage the back of the body, press the back foot into that back hand and use the front hand to support you to get a bit of lift through the front of the body, but still engaging through the shoulder blades. Exhale, release, extend the left arm, bend the right knee, catch that foot with the right hand, and the key is here to press that foot into the hand. So you don't even have to lift the knee if it's still pretty tight for you. Just engaging the back of the body will help. Finding your openness here. Exhale, releasing. Coming into Earth Shavasana, but with the arms extended forward, palms connect into that reverse namaste behind the head again. Softening the back of the body. This bowing down to your practice, honoring yourself under the light where a lot more is exposed and on show for you to have a look at. Bring your hands underneath the shoulders, press yourself back to downward facing dog. Breathing into the belly here. Bring your feet together at the back of the mat. Inhale, lift the right leg, three-legged dog. Exhale, bend the knees, step the foot through to the middle of the front of the mat. Lower the back heel, moon warrior once more. For a breath in, And exhale, find your side angle pose, Parsvakonasana. You're not sinking into that bottom shoulder or the forearm that's on the knee, but you're lengthening a bit like your gate pose along the top line of the body. Bring that top hand to the hip here and shuffle that back foot in, coming into Ardha Chandrasana, your half moon balance. So that's what the block is there for if you feel like you need it. You can have it on any of the levels. You're flexing that top foot and opening the chest up towards the side of the mat, staying strong through that standing leg. You can lift that top arm up. You can play with balancing off that bottom hand, pressing back with that top heel. You can stay here, or you can even play with Chapasana, so bending that top knee, catching the foot with the top hand, opening up. Still not jamming the top hip to come towards stacking here. It's still on that diagonal facing that it was in your dancing warrior position. Gently release the foot, extending out, land the foot at the back of the mat. Inhale, moon warrior once more. Exhale, lift that back heel, press into your hands, extending up into your three-legged dog with the right leg once more. Lower the foot. Breathe in. Lift your left leg, three-legged dog. Exhale, find your warrior two footing on this side. Shift the block over to the other side of the mat. Nice and neatly there. Lower the back heel. Find your dancing warrior. Exhale, side angle pose. Get that length. Feel grounded through the back foot. Feel connected through the soles of the feet into the earth beneath you. Top hand comes to the hip once more. Shuffle that back foot in. You can keep looking down. I find this helps with balance as you find your balance on this side, which may be a little different than it was on the first. Top hand can stay on the hip or you can lift it up. If that bottom foot wants to shift, just finding your grounding each step of the way. Playing with where that bottom hand is placed. Still pressing back with that top flexed foot. You can play with Chapasana again here if you like. Otherwise, just breathing in your half moon balance, Ardha Chandrasana. Honoring the moon. Honoring the light being shown upon you. As you land that back foot, inhale, moon warrior. Lift the back heel, exhale. Plant your hands, step that left leg back up into your three-legged dog. Lower the foot, and then lower the knees, bring them wide. Soften the feet, find your child's pose here. Can give the shoulders a little wiggle. Breathing soft into the belly. Letting your forehead just rest as the back line of your spine lengthens. And sit yourself up, swing your legs around. So here, if you find that you curl through the lower back a lot, you can place the block underneath the hips, widthways again, to help you sit forward on the sit bones. If you're good here, if you can get that opening with that flat lower back, just choosing whether or not you want to use something underneath the hips or just on the mat. Coming into Paschimottanasana, your seated forward fold. So bending the knees, let your belly rest on the tops of the thighs. Toes are pointing upwards, so the feet are parallel, facing towards the sky, reaching to the pinky toe blades of the feet. Inhale, a long spine, broad shoulders. And as you exhale, just walk your feet forward, keeping that connection between the belly and the thighs, avoiding letting the knees turn out. Keep everything in that line facing upwards. And when you find your edge, it doesn't matter if the knees are still bent here, you can let your head and neck just relax down. Softening the shoulders, using each exhale to help you soften into this pose as you help to open up through the whole back line of the body, opening up at last through the back door of the heart. You might like to even imagine that the full moon is shining its light in through there. Otherwise, just softening and releasing with each exhale. Might be physically or even mentally or emotionally softening. These deep, long breaths. And when you're ready, you can bring your hands underneath the shoulders. I need a little bit of extra time to come out of this pose, so feel free to take your time as you slowly stack the spine, breathing in. Exhale out of the mouth when you reach the top, like a sigh of relief. And then extending your legs, coming onto your back with the knees bent. You can rock a little side to side, massaging the backs of the hips into the mat. You can bring the knees to a knock-kneed position with the feet a little bit wider, feeling the broadness across the lower back. Or when you're ready, you can extend the legs here. The option is to have the arms out to the side with the palms open, receiving the light. Or again, for that grounding, which is so important at this time, letting the right hand rest on the belly, left hand rest on the heart, feeling the beat of your heart underneath that top hand, and the movement of the breath underneath the bottom hand. Let your whole body soften, feeling the support. Each part of the body that's connected to the mat feels by the earth beneath it. And that support encourages the whole front of the body to just melt away from the center line, maybe cracking open, letting that full moon light up all of those areas that maybe you even try to hide from yourself. And knowing that you can now look at them a little bit more compassionately. Grounded and stable in your breath. So letting yourself rest here for as long as feels good for you. Taking your time before you get up to move.